Seem nothing even matters. Seem nothing even.
Peace and blessings, family, and welcome back to A Queen's Crown. If this is your first time tuning in, hello and welcome. Today we are going to do a part 2 to the definition that I did last week, and then I'm going to do my hair in the style that I'm wearing right now in this video. But before we get started, if you are not following A Queen's Crown on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or TikTok, please make sure you do so. Also, make sure you hit that share, that thumbs up, and the notification bell so that you can receive notifications every time A Queen's Crown goes live, post, or share. Let's get started, family. The first definition that we're going to start off with today is repair. What is repair? Maybe there was some damage caused to it and there needs to be some repairs. Typically, repairs are needed if you are not keeping up with your reties, if you are not bundling when it is time to wash, many things that can compromise your lock using a different tool other than a Sisterlock tool. Unraveling. What does it mean for your locks to unravel? For your locks to unravel means just for them to come apart. From the bottom on up, they begin to unravel so that hair becomes very loose and it just begins to just come up your lock, which means it's coming undone or unloose. That is what the term unravel is. Breakage. Breakage is when your lock breaks off from the middle of your lock or at some point in your lock. Breakage is when your lock actually breaks off from any point or at any place in your head, whether it be from the scalp or from the lock. That is breakage. Something that can cause breakage are dry scalp, again, not keeping up with your reties. Other things that can cause breakage is just not keeping your locks moisturized. There's a number of things. You can also Google some things that will cause your locks to break. So breakage, just be careful putting bobby pins in. Queen alert. Pulling your rubber bands out too fast or too hard. If your hair is in a style like this and you have a piece that you want to pull out, pulling it like this, pulling on it, that tension can cause your locks to break. Sometimes we don't even realize that, or it'll happen, and trust me, I've done it. I have done it. Pulled my locks trying to adjust it, and it just popped right off. So please be very careful. All right, family, so we're going to pause right here. I'll get into my hair and we'll come right back. What we're going to do is we're going to part our hair after we've combed through it, making sure that it's smooth. We're going to part our hair all the way across from ear to ear. You want to bring the part up a little high because the buns are going to sit on the top of your head. Once you part it, as you can see, my parts aren't necessarily straight. If you want, you can use a mirror and it will make it straight. You're going to use the ponytail holder or you're going to wrap your hair just to have that hair out the way. Part your hair down the middle. I use my fingers to kind of feel through, so you can do the same. Once you have your hair parted down the middle and you're happy with the way it feels, take one side of the hair and just either braid it or use a ponytail holder or rubber band to move it out the way. Go to the other side and you're going to straighten it out a little bit and begin twisting. Now, twisting your hair kind of in the back can be a little tricky or hard. So take your time, feel through it, play in it as far as moving the hair around to see if you can feel it. I promise you it's not going to be easy, but you can do it. Go over to the other side and you're going to repeat the process. Be very careful if you have to do it a few times because you feel that it's just not twisting right. Just be patient and do it. If you're doing it and you feel like this hairstyle isn't going to work with me twisting it and you want to wrap it, you can use the wrapping method. It's going to give you the same outcome. So I'm just twisting my hair in. I'm filling it through just to make sure that I'm getting the twist all the way around into my scalp and as close to the part as possible. And I'm going to bring that twist all the way up. And once I have it all the way up, I'm going to wrap it into the bun like what I have on the other side. You want to make it a little tight so that it holds, but not too tight to where it's pulling. Twist the hair all the way down to the bottom. And once you bring it all the way down to the bottom, just kind of feel it and make sure that it's not unraveling. And then once you do that, wrap it around. Now these do not have to be perfect because as you can see, they're just sitting in the back until we get to the front. So don't worry about it being exactly perfect, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the hairstyle. Coloring. What does it mean to color your locks? Coloring your locks is just basically taking a process, whether it's dye, henna, coffee beans, hair paint, and just changing the natural color or whatever color that is currently in your hair to a different color or to a brighter or darker color. A lot of times you don't hear the lock community say, I'm going to dye my hair. They'll use the term color. So color or coloring is just the process of changing the natural color or the current color of our hair. What are holes? Holes are little gaps or little holes in your locks. You can have holes in your locks if when your reties are being done and the loctician is not pulling the hair all the way down, and that's not always the case, so I don't want someone to say, oh my goodness, I have holes, my loctician may not be doing this right. Or we're not banding correctly, or we're using multiple locticians, or we're using multiple tools. There's a number of things that can cause holes. Queen alert. In our hair, if we notice them, maybe your loctician may not notice. Sometimes we're going through our hair, we have our hands in our hair, and we can feel things that maybe we as a loctician, as we're just retightening your hair, do not see, catch, or notice. And if you notice any holes, you want to make sure you get to your loctician and have some repairs done or have those holes closed in if they can be. The reason being is those holes will eventually cause a gap, which can cause breakage, separation from your lock. It can cause that lock to start doing pretty much its own thing, which will still cause the remainder hair to break. So you want to be very careful with holes in your hair. And if you notice them, point them out to your loctician immediately. Detoxing. Sometimes you'll hear people use the word detoxing, and that will refer to someone whose locks may have a lot of buildup. Maybe they just didn't do the best job taking care of their locks or protecting them from lint and all other type of products and elements. And in that case, they will get a detox. And detox is just the process of cleaning out, loosening, and getting rid of a lot of buildup or a lot of the elements that may have been tangled in or locked into your hair. Thinning. Thinning is when the density in your hair is getting lower and lower. You will notice that your hair may not be as thick or as full as it used to be. Thinning can be caused by a number of things: stress, health-related, genetics. Just be very careful with thinning. Please view some of my other videos when I talk about thinning. Why am I thinning video will give a little bit more clarity and help you to understand the definition of thinning a little bit more. What is rotation? A lot of times you'll hear maybe even your loctician say the rotation, or I'm doing this rotation. Rotation is really just the exact same thing as pattern. It's the pattern that you're doing your hair in. Rotation is just another term that we use to determine which way or what direction that we are working in. Again, that is a terminology for the locticians. You really don't have to worry about that. But in the lock community, you still may hear that term. So that is what rotation is. All right, family, so we're gonna pause right here. I'll get into my hair and we'll come right back. Take the ponytail holder down. After you take the ponytail holder out, part your hair down the middle. Now this part, you're gonna use your fingers to feel through to make sure it's as straight as possible. It will not or may not line up with the part that you have in the back. That is okay. It will not matter once we're finished. Once you do that, take one side and just use the ponytail holder to hold it out the way. Then you're going to go over to the other side, comb through it, make sure it's as smooth as possible. And then you're going to take that bun in the back and you're going to unwrap it. You're going to use that to wrap into a ponytail for the hair that's left out in the front. For my queens whose hair is shorter, at this point, you will take the hair and you will put it all up into one ponytail, and it will look like a puff ball sitting at the top of your head. Once you have that hair wrapped around, you're just going to pull it to make sure that it's tight enough so that it sits and stays. And then you're going to take that hair that's hanging out and you're going to twist it. Twist that hair all the way down to the bottom, and just make sure when you get to the bottom that it's tight enough that it won't unravel. And then you're going to take that hair and you're going to wrap it into the bun, making sure that it is tight and secure. And again, if you need to use a rubber band at this time, you can use a rubber band to hold it as well. Go over to the other side, take the ponytail holder out, and repeat the process. Comb through the hair, and then take that bun piece and wrap it around the hair. Once you have that piece wrapped around and it is secured, you're going to do the same thing with the hair that is left out. You're going to twist that hair all the way down to the bottom. Again, making sure that it's twisted down to the bottom, tight enough that you can wrap it around into your hair. Once you have it twisted down to the bottom, take that piece and wrap it into a bun and secure it. Again, use a rubber band if needed. Once you have it secured and everything looks good the way that you like it, you're going to take a bobby pin and you're going to use that bobby pin to secure your bun. It doesn't really matter where you put it. You just want to take it and make sure that that bun is secure, not moving, and that it sits at the bottom of your head. You can see the difference between the two. Take the second bobby pin and do the same with the second bun, making sure that it is open. Be very careful, especially for my newly established queens, and make sure that those buns are secure and sitting nicely at the top of your head. So this is the hairstyle that I have for you today. I hope you like it. Let's continue on with the video. And the last definition that I have for you today is the Sisterlock kit. A lot of times you will hear people say, oh, did you get the Sisterlock kit? Sisterlock kit is given out by the certified consultant, or the trainee. You cannot receive the Sisterlock kit from anyone else now. If you receive a Sisterlock kit from someone who is not listed on the registry, it does not mean that they're not legit. It could just mean that maybe at one point they were a certified loctician, or maybe they were a trainee but just never continued on. But when you are established, for those who receive a Sisterlock kit, that is given to you at the time of your establishment. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all enjoyed the hairstyle. Please make sure you are following A Queen's Crown on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. Also, make sure you hit that thumbs up, that share, and that notification bell so that you can receive notifications every time A Queen's Crown goes live, post, or share. I'll see you all in the next video, family. Amani na upendo.